Hi, I'm John Sparenberg, and this is my screencast for my ISTC 301 class. So what I'm going to go over is Quizlet. Quizlet is an online website where you can basically use studying tools to help you study for basically anything, like you can see in the corner. The cool thing is that it basically allows us to put flashcards online. That's awesome because as teachers, we make our students use flashcards to study various things. Now, we may not use it all the time to all the various subjects like physics and math, but it does come into play with every other subject. The cool thing about Quizlet is it does kind of make it accessible for these subjects that you may not always think to use flashcards for. So I'm going to walk you through it a little bit, show you how it works, some of the possibilities, all that cool stuff. And hopefully by the end, you may use it like I'm starting to. Okay, so signing up for Quizlet, it doesn't take that long. There's a free and a plus version. There's some differences, but for us teachers, basically the free version works perfectly fine. That's what I did. It takes like a minute to sign up, and it's awesome. Okay, so now what I'm going to show you is how to create your own set of like flashcards or whatever you want to call them. So what you do is you go right up here to create, click it, and then when you do it, it'll pop up this screen. Okay, so the cool thing about this is you can customize it with all the information, so title, description, put your subject there. The cool thing about Quizlet is anything you make will go online to Quizlet, and anyone can see it. So for us teachers, like let's say you're teaching Spanish or history or something, you're teaching a common subject like maybe Spanish, you're teaching words about like food. So you need to know what comido means, all those fun stuff, bueno. Or you teach history, maybe you're teaching about like the Civil War. Well, you can look up on Quizlet, and they may be already there. So that's what this whole thing is, and you can make it visible to just make it visible to everyone, which usually everyone I've seen does, and then you can create editors. So the cool thing about Quizlet is, which I'll show in a little bit, is you can make classes. So the cool thing with that is once you make your class, you can kind of make it customizable so they can edit it maybe a little bit. That may help if you're doing like a group project or you're doing flashcards. Maybe they can kind of customize it their own way, add their own notes. Maybe you forgot to do something, or maybe that's like your assignment that you give them. The other thing is you can also choose your language, like you see right here. Unless you're really changing between two different languages, you won't really have that. I never really use it, so I don't really know how that much. But the other cool thing is like with your flashcards, you import data or images. So like for me, like a physics major, it'll be awesome because I can like if I have an answer for a problem, put it in there. They can try to solve it and then go look at it, something like that. Or maybe doing like pictures, like or special ed. I know like there's certain tests you kind of can learn, so you can put like a picture of your test, say what's that test? Oh, I know what that is now. Haha. So I did a sample one quickly. I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I've been watching that show like all weekend. So here it is. Let's see, I made my flashcards. Different. On the left is like things I wanna. I'll give a hint to what I'm trying to think about, and on the right is my answers. So now what I'm gonna do is try to create my set. So I hit the create set button, and now after putting the language in, which I forgot to, now I create set and see. So now I have my flashcard set. So the cool thing is there's different ways I can study it, and there's different ways I can test it. So you can study it using an old-fashioned way, like learning it. You can test your knowledge by testing or speller. You can games like scatter and space race. So I'm gonna do the learn. So I think it's gonna be pop up and say Donatello. So I'm gonna think, okay, Donatello. He's the ninja that always knows what he's doing. He's smart. Smart is purple. That's just something I thought of. And I hit the answer. Woo! I got it right. So then I can press N key to continue. I can go back. Michelangelo. He's red. Even though he's not, I hit the answer. Pops up wrong. Now so you'll tell me the correct answer. So like, let's say maybe you know it's a mistake by my part. You can hit override. I was right. Yeah. Now the thing is, you can try to grade them off it, but at the same time, take it just hit the override button. You'll never really know, I think. So it's not something you can really use as like a grade, like as in here's how much they got right. It's more just the grade that they're doing it. And I'll show you how you can do that in a little bit. So the other options available are tests. Tests is pretty cool. It'll make random questions. So it'll kind of be like fill in the blank, multiple choice, that stuff. So it is cool. And it's like a true false. So it does kind of test their knowledge. The other options you kind of do are like games. One of them's not really working for me for some reason. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the other one, which is called scatter. So space race is like you try to kill the words that pop up that match with the words they show. But this one's like the scatter, and you got to match up. So like Donatello's purple, match it up, eventually it'll go away. It's cool because like if you have younger kids, I mean I love playing games, but I know younger kids they love playing games to kind of learn. So learning and going with that should work pretty well. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to show you is kind of something I went off earlier. It's that if you need to find something online that maybe you don't have, or you want to kind of branch it off of, you can kind of take it. So I've looked up turtles. So what you can do is you go to add, set to class. It's someone else's work, so I cannot take creativity for it. And what I do is add to my class. So now, my Talents and Fun class, my special created class, can now see it. So when I go to my stuff, so now when I go to my class, Talents and Fun, I can kind of go see what I put there. So sea turtles pop up, and then it's just like all the options that you see when you actually click on the sea turtles thing, it'll be there. So now my class can see it. So to kind of go over what a class is, I'm going to try to go back. So you can basically add a class. It's really easy. It takes 2 seconds. Then the cool thing is to get members, you can just go here and then you can look up their username, their full name, or the email. Or you can just share it as a link. So the cool thing is, high schools, elementary schools, middle schools may not be as cool as Towson or as has the resources available to them. So maybe they won't have something like Blackboard or something. So you have to be a little bit creative. So like we've talked about in class, like having iPads available or something. That's awesome. The cool thing is Quizlet is an app for basic computers. You can get it for your mobile stuff, I think, too. So it actually does help out in that sense that you can use it anywhere. So everyone now either has access to a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, something, so they can access this. So you kind of make them do stuff. The cool thing is I can look at members. So this is my fake account I made. So I can click it, and I can see what this person's done. So I did a test earlier with it. They answered 5 questions. They did 1 study session. So I can kind of see what they're doing. So that's kind of how we can keep track of it. As you see up here, you can also see how long they studied and when they studied. So I can see when sets this out. So like I can tell them study advanced Spanish, so study turtles. Then if they don't study, I can kind of see and say, hey Jen, why didn't you study turtles? Oh, I did. Not going to my account. Now they could probably went off, but to keep track of it, you can say you need to sign into your account to look at it. And I see how long ago they studied it. So let's say I have the turtle assignment up for like 2 weeks and I keep adding to it. I can also say, well, keep checking it. And then like if you do that on test, say, okay, let's look see how much you studied. Okay, you answered a lot of questions, but you did that a week ago. I added new questions last week. So it's cool. It's really awesome how you can do all this fun stuff with it. And the cool thing is it's variety. It depends on how you want to teach a lesson. So it's versatile to the sense where you can put whatever information you want. It can be simple information like vocabulary. It can be more complicated stuff like you can put a math problem up. You give like solutions kind of go along with it. And it just helps out. So I think it's a really cool tool. I've definitely used it to help me study my friend showed me it like a month ago. I've used it at least 3 times for different things. I've taken other people's stuff and studied from it. But now I actually see like the possibilities with it. I do want to start using it more. It's really cool. I recommend everyone try it out at least once.